Welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
A lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to.
He look crazy, Bill. Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show. Running a little late here this morning. Our fault. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. Still daily brought to you by Go Chevrolet. GEAUX Chevrolet.com. Remember, they're down in LaPlace, Louisiana, and always online. If you're looking to find a great deal on a brand new truck, get over to Go Chevrolet. They got great selection for you over there. GEAUX Chevrolet.com. Carpool Queen is here.
Hey.
Stewie is here.
Hey.
Jamil is here.
Hey.
Live here on this Thursday morning. We're going to talk to Billy Embody from On3 coming up here at 8 a.m. Obviously, National Signing Day right around the corner. And it's crazy how the pace and the feeling of this day has changed so dramatically over the last 5 years. I mean, do you remember what this day was like?
Yeah.
Do you remember what National Signing Day, kind of like the late one, was ever like?
And y'all have told me, tons of stories about it.
Yeah, me and Shay talked about it yesterday on his recruiting segment, and he was like, does this, like, signing day feel like signing day of the old? And I was like, no, because, I mean, you don't get the excitement anymore that you had with either the 5 for 5 at the All-American game or signing day with Malachi Dupree or Jamar Chase or Christian Fulton committing to LSU. Like, you don't get that anymore.
Yeah,
you get it
you
in
don't.
December.
It's
kind of sucks.
Is it like sad? Is it better this way? Is it worse? Like, do you
I
miss
think
the old?
I miss the old.
I
I
do
miss
too.
more than anything. Did you ever go to the Bayou Bash?
No, I was
That's
too young.
what you always told me about.
I was way too young when that was happening.
Was Shay talking about that yesterday?
Yeah, he talked about it a little bit.
I mean,
So he's like, I wasn't born then.
the Bayou Bash.
It wasn't that. I was just in high school.
The Bayou Bash, when I was like, I mean, we were kind of like in the perfect age for the life of the Bayou Bash. Like, it was already established when we got to high school, and then it became like this. I mean, it was a throwdown on National Signing. It was something that other schools looked at and tried to emulate, but never could, because LSU had done it so right from a business standpoint, where, like, man, I don't know, the TAF was overseeing it. I don't know. It was like a booster club was overseeing it, and LSU was tied to it, and the coach would come later in the day and address the crowd.
The casino, right?
They moved it to the casino. It originally started at the Assembly Center.
Okay, yeah.
And I think like the NCAA was like, "What's going on? You know, like, what's going on down here? Like, y'all are selling tickets to a recruiting bash, and people are lined up around the building to drink beer all day and just scream at a television set when a name comes across the wire." And like back then, like, there was no social media, there was no Tom Granning, thank you, the Gridiron Club oversaw the Bayou Bash, so like they could kind of like collect the money, and it was all legal.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, so it was a beautiful storm. You know what I mean?
Right.
For 25 years, and it was built around, bless you. It was built around National Signing Day, which was always the first Wednesday in February. And it was the only signing day. So it was dramatic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was highly, highly like just like people were on the edge of their seat about these kids.
Right.
But it really was just an excuse. The Bayou Bash turned
Yeah.
into an excuse for people to just
Drink
shut
all
it
day.
down.
Yeah.
Like shut it down. Like, I mean, people would be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. People would be cooking jambalaya. People would
What?
have kegs of beer. I mean, it turned into, when it was at the, I mean, it was Catfish Town back in the day, but the Atrium,
Yeah. The
The
Bell
Atrium,
or whatever,
yeah.
I think.
that's like when I was in college.
Uh-huh.
It was at its peak.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an off day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a holiday.
Right.
It was like, I mean, it was Super Bowl Sunday on a Wednesday in like the middle of the week. I mean, there was companies that would sponsor it. Jimmy Yacht would do his radio show live from there.
Did you buy tickets to it?
You had to buy tickets
Okay.
to get there. And then like the coach would come at the end of the day and like address the crowd. And by this
Wow.
time, I mean, like people are Mardi Gras drunk.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
God.
Like people are hammered. They've been there since average 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Been drinking all day. I mean, like it is
It's the most Louisiana thing ever.
It
Ever.
really is.
Like it
Ever.
is.
I mean, so
ever.
no
I mean,
one
like
else did
people
this?
would see it for the first time. I'll never forget people like seeing it for the first time and being like, "Where am I? Like, what are y'all doing?"
Is this a Mardi Gras ball or a recruiting event? Like,
Yeah,
what are we
it's
at?
like, just Wednesday, bro.
Did reporters come from like
Oh,
other outlets?
Absolutely. It was.
That's wild.
It is so wild.
So no other SEC schools did something like this?
You couldn't do it because I don't think that there was like the Gridiron Club.
Okay.
It was like nobody could untie it from the
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
right? Like it was something that like it was very. I remember it being very hard to replicate.
Yeah.
But like people were like, "This is a lottery ticket."
Right.
I mean, in the Southeastern Conference, this is a cash cow, and I mean, like it turned into that. There was like it turned into almost like a small like farmers market for vendors. I mean, like there would be like a back section of like tables of people like pimping products. You know what I mean?
wild.
Like
Got teachers back
sports
here.
would be there.
Yeah.
Restaurants would be there. You know what I mean? Like at one point you could like walk the line and grab like a pizza from City Slice and a margarita from Superior, and it's 8:30 in the morning.
Man. When did they stop doing this? When did it end?
I think it did stop before they split the signing days because I think they did kind of like finally run into like some
Had to.
like some red tape.
Had
You know,
to.
I think that like I mean, but like Ogeron did it. You
Oh,
know, like
really?
as far back
Oh,
as like
okay.
as near as the Ogeron regime, they
Yeah.
were doing it. You
So
know,
it ended with him.
So it ended on his watch, but that was also because the signing days become split
Yeah.
up, and that was because of the early enrollee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the early enrollee was.
Tom said the band would be there.
The band would lead the coach in.
Oh
That's
my
where Les
goodness.
Miles said he doesn't have the chest.
Oh my!
That's
about
where
Gunnar
that
Keel.
Yeah, I was like, that guy's a nerd, bro.
That
What
was
are y'all
like the
talking? Like,
most-
throw beer on this dork. He was talking about Gunnar Keel.
Yep.
Hey, there's
wow.
there's a certain quarterback out there that didn't have the chest. Yeah, that's our guy. I'm like, that guy's a nerd.
Then he went get like. Did he go get like the Penn State transfer quarterback, and he never
Yeah,
played here?
Never played.
Oh my god.
Never played.
Man, I never experienced
It
that.
was, Katie, it was.
Yeah, I wish I.
I'm
would've
telling you, like in
experienced it, too.
college, because like in college, you were at the casino.
Oh god.
You were drink like once you got in, you got a wristband, coach, and it was like a kegerator truck from, you know what I mean?
Get
Like there was no
whatever you want.
lines, and there were 1,000 people there. You know what I mean? People are just like, it's like a keg party in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
Like,
get as much as you
I
want.
mean, like an hour and a half later, everybody's naked. You know, you're like,
Oh god. I didn't know you looked like that, sir.
just give me another beer.
Everybody's neck.
But I mean, like a lot like the Bayou Bash was. But I mean, like they had like auction items. Like you could get the like back then, you couldn't just search the internet and get crazy LSU memorabilia.
Yeah.
At this event, you could get like the most exclusive LSU signed memorabilia, worn jerseys, stuff the pros had. You know, people were like, "I'll pay $1,200 right now."
Actually, I'll pay
Yeah, we've been
12,000.
drinking since
Yeah,
8 a.m.
absolutely.
It's
I mean,
easy.
it was a perfect. I mean, like people were like, just like vendors were walking out with mafia type knots. You know, what I mean, just like hands full of cash. You know, the meme of the dude like on the money. I mean, it was
Let's
hand
bring
over
it back
fist.
here at the studio.
I don't know if you can because of the split day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of the split signing day,
Makes it hard.
and like because there's no drama anymore. You know, I mean, there's no like it would be wild when like I remember Reuben Randall like shocked the crowd, or like Russell Shepard was one where people were like, "Oh my God!" Even like back in the day, somebody I'm trying to think. Adrian Mays was a big name out of Houston that people didn't expect to get. But like, you know, like these early Saban signing classes where you were signing like all these 5 and 4-star guys that LSU just really wasn't accustomed to doing. I mean, you know, you'd see like Michael Clayton's name come across the board, and I mean, it'd be like a beer shower. You know what I mean? Like, I'm serious.
It's like a game.
people-
Like we just
it was
scored a
like a game.
touchdown.
It was like a game, and the coach would walk in, and the place would go like bananas. It would go wild. But like Granting said, the band was there. I mean, they would bring like a smaller section of the band, but
Yeah.
I mean, they'd play the fight song. I mean, LSU. I mean, people just
Imagine.
going nuts, dude. And then they would like almost sometimes they would time it where there was a home basketball game that night.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So you would, you know, like
Yeah.
This is a
Right.
tell-
Yeah.
Power, I mean, like back in college, like we've been
Yeah.
at the Bash since 7. We're going to Bogies after this, closing it down.
Then the game.
I mean, like, just one of those days where you're like, when's the Bash? It was awesome, dude.
Oh, that's
It was
nice.
awesome.
Sounds so fun.
It does.
It was amazing. I'm telling you, it was.
Man, I wish someone would.
And
bring
like
it
for
back.
people in our business now, it was the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would go do this show live from the Bash, right? And I mean, like, it turned into a point where you had like media row there. I mean, like the early days of Off the Bench, like with Derek and I, the Bash was still happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it was still kicking. And I'd imagine we probably did a couple of years of from the Bash. I mean, it was
You don't remember.
no.
You hammered.
I mean, they all kind of met. You know what I mean?
Bet.
They all like. I mean,
Culotta,
if
you
were
want
like
a drink?
Bash 04, I'd be like, no, I'm not. Bash 06. Nah.
I don't
Yeah, I
know
don't
the difference.
know.
Yeah, right. Bash 02.
No, I
Just-
definitely don't know.
I mean, like they would have the highlights of all the players that were committed to LSU, like playing like on a wall size.
TV.
Yeah, it was like, I mean,
Like
it
a
wasn't even a
projector.
TV; it was like a sheet. You know, playing against the wall. Man, it's people out there that has
That's awesome.
experienced it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people in the chat went to it.
Oh, I bet.
Loved it.
I bet. I mean, it was a staple. I mean, if you were an LSU fan, it was a spring event. It was almost like the kickoff to baseball season.
Yeah.
Like a
Right.
lot of baseball love.
Yeah, I
At the
bet.
Bash.
Uh-huh.
You know, like a lot of basketball team sucks.
Ready for football season.
Brady's a bum. But I mean, like it was a great. But I don't think you can recreate it anymore because of what recruiting is. Recruiting's become such big business.
Yeah, it has.
You know, like back then it was such a. It was such like a. It felt very exclusive product. Now you can get it anywhere. You know, like now you can.
Speaking of recruiting, have you seen this report about the college coach that's mad at Bronny James because he can't get in touch with him personally?
No.
No.
There's a report. It was in the Athletic. A college coach from the ACC, they didn't name the school. He said that you have to jump through too many hoops to talk to Bronny James. You have to talk to the publicist to even talk to the mom, or even talk to LeBron. But it's like it's LeBron James' son.
Right.
Did you think you were just gonna go sit in
I
his
know.
living room? Like,
Exactly. That's not surprising.
it wouldn't be surprising to me if I was
Yeah.
recruiting him. Like,
Yeah.
And 90% of the coaches probably want the meeting just for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's only
exactly.
about 2 coaches on the planet that have a real shot of signing him.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know, and they already know who that is. So, I mean, why waste your time? I'm watching Top Class on Netflix.
What's that?
It is
haven't
a
even heard of that.
3-season documentary on Sierra Canyon High School's basketball team and Bronny James and crew. And
Is it new? It just came
Jordan
out?
put me on it. My son put me
Yeah.
on it. Said that he heard there was a documentary on Bronny James because he's in love with that demographic. He's in love with that age group. With that, I mean, he could tell you the top 20 recruits in the country.
Oh, God.
And Bronny James is like they just shook it up. He's like number 19 in the country right now. But we've been watching this documentary, and it goes through. It's not like Bronny James is a senior right now. The documentary goes through his junior year, right? So you're kind of like a year behind him. As far as just like kind of his development goes, I'd imagine that the senior season would come out at, in the next couple of months once he finishes up. But he is a very likable kid.
Yeah.
Like for all intents and purposes. And I'm just watching through the lens of this documentary that is executive produced by his dad and they tell the story, right? I mean, they're the storyteller on this, but they spend a lot of time with this team and they do a lot of storytelling of what this team is like to travel with. I mean, their schedule's nuts. Their curriculum at school is wild. The security issue that they face everywhere is real. I mean, that stuff is real. And to see that up close, you get a little bit better understanding. You still don't, I don't get it, right? I mean, I don't understand what it's like to live in that world, but through this lens, through this documentary, it's called Uninterrupted, Top Class. It's the life and time of Sierra Canyon Trailblazers, but it's really documented. I mean, they have the number one player in the country this year. Drake was dating his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Armani
Bailey? Yep.
Ended up at UCLA. Great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid. You know what I mean? Like, it just gives you an opportunity to see what life is like. I mean, like, they opened up their senior, like they opened up Bronny's junior season at the Staples Center. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff that's high school you could only, like, dream, fantasize about. Like, I mean, like, it's like incredible. Like, the trainers, the lifestyle is, it's like an NBA team. I mean, it really is. It's like a junior varsity. It's like a G League team with a bunch of money, really. But the takeaway is that Bronny James is filtered. He is protected. But once you watch the documentary, to a degree, he has to be. He's on the road. He's so, in times, accessible. And you see that his dad is on a level of superstardom that people go crazy over. You know, like that, we don't understand. I got no idea what it's like to live in those shoes. And whether you're a LeBron James fan or not, that's the life and times of LeBron James. People will do stuff to make a statement because of how famous he is. And when your kid is accessible like that, LeBron has spent every dime that it takes to protect him and his teammates from any BS. I mean, when they go to a hotel on the road, they rent out the entire floor. The entire floor, whether they need the rooms or not. Nobody is staying on their floor that is accessing. And you know what? When you watch how much people freak out over them on the road when they travel, if you have the means like LeBron does, where he's a billionaire and he can fly this team private and put them up in 5-star hotels and pay for top tier security, I don't even know how it would be argued. I mean, but it's a great look at Bronny James.
Man, Andrew Messina says 3 years today since Kobe passed.
You know what? That was the first
today.
thing I saw when I woke up this morning.
I haven't even seen that.
Don't mention it. I'm hurt. Still hurt.
Golly, man.
No, isn't that wild?
It's wild.
Still unbelievable.
It is. It really is. I mean, I remember exactly where I was.
Same.
I remember exactly the feeling
Yeah.
I have.
It's not real.
No
right.
way.
That's what you
That's
think.
the
You're
first
like,
thing I
nah,
said.
something-
And
they
then
don't
I
have the whole
remember
story.
seeing the first thing I thought, the first time it became real was you see it on social media and you're like, no way. No way. And you kind of like walk around in a fog for a minute, and I walk inside and I turn on the TV and there's an aerial shot on like Good Morning America or what, one of these, because it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
One of these Sunday morning shows showing the side of the mountain with a helicopter smoking on the ground. And I thought, no way.
Yeah. This
No
is not
way.
real.
Those images of him and his daughter were still fresh from a couple of nights before when they went to the game and they went and watched. Was it Luka or Trae Young? One of them. And they're sitting courtside,
Yep.
and he's like talking the game to her.
I
Yeah.
can see that picture in my mind.
He's wearing the Philadelphia Eagles beanie.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that just breaks my heart.
I know. Damn.
It was. It stopped. It stops you in your tracks,
Yeah,
man.
it does.
I mean, it did. I mean, I remember just being. They had something going. It was the Pro Bowl that day. I think it was the week in between.
It was either Pro Bowl or yeah. It was, I think
Something
it
was
was
going
the Pro
on
Bowl.
that day.
It was.
And I mean, it was. I remember Booger was calling it,
Yep.
and they were talking about and they were interviewing all of these athletes, all these top athletes, and all of them just. You could see, man. I mean, just how much he meant to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. It was just. He was a generational.
For sure.
I mean, he's one of those guys that.
From the 8 with the fro to 24, old man, just all of that. Like, you don't get enough of that. Like, as a kid, Kobe was my first favorite
Yeah.
athlete. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I had the Kobe 8 jersey, had the little fro. Like, I wanted to be Kobe. Every time I shot, Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
what it
mean,
was.
for someone in my age demographic, Kobe was almost like he was the villain for a long time, right? I mean, because I was obsessed with Michael Jordan and thought
yeah.
Jordan was always the ultimate. And then once Jordan kind of passed the game on, I was a Shaq guy, always, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from
LSU.
day one, I mean, I was Shaq or die. And when he went to L.A., I mean, you knew Shaq was about to just butt into this superstar, and Kobe was always the one that was kind of like getting in his way, from a Shaq lover standpoint. And you almost like hated Kobe for a while.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
Yeah, they
For
did.
sure. I
Like-
mean, and that's like tough to admit now
It
for as
is.
much as I love him. Because in the second half of his career, I mean, he was so almost impossible not to fall in love with from a sports fan standpoint. I remember saying this the day after the Monday morning we got on the radio and just were you were just like, you were still like foggy. I mean, it was still like, I cannot believe that Kobe Bryant is dead. I mean, it really was just like shocking to say that had happened. I mean, he was one of those guys that you just thought was untouchable. I mean, one of those superstars that would live forever, that would always be around the game. But I remember saying, Kobe was exactly what you wanted in your superstar. Whether you loved him, whether you hated him, if you paid the money to buy the ticket to go watch him play, you knew you were going to get your money's worth.
Yeah, you're right.
And in a life and time now where there's a lot of pushback that's going on this. I don't know if you've seen the story right now that's happening with the Jimmy Butler, the sign that went up. They were showing. Now, I know that some stuff has come out on this family where this looks like they've kind of done this before, but the kid held up the sign that says, "It's my birthday," or "I traveled so many miles to watch Jimmy Butler play." And it almost was like a movie, like where like the NBA executive or the NBA representative walks up to the kid and tells him like, "Jimmy's not playing." And the kid like crumples the sign and is like kicks the sign and walks off. I can relate to this because a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago, the night after Orlando and Golden State go wire to wire, Steph, Clay, Draymond, all of them are balling Orlando. They come to New Orleans the next night. And Jordan was like, I want to go watch. No, I want to go watch them play. And it was a couple of days before, I'm like trying to get tickets. We end up landing 2 tickets to the game to go watch Golden State and New Orleans play. Within 6 hours of the game, the day of the game, like after shoot around, a thing comes across Twitter that Steph, Draymond, Clay, and one more weren't playing. I mean, the only one that was playing was Jordan Poole. And I was like kind of thinking to myself, like, that's BS, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like from the NBA standpoint. I mean, you're selling superstars on all of these ticket values, and within a half a day of the tip-off, you're going to tell me that the main attraction's not playing? But one thing that you could always count on about Kobe was that he was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to sit. And if you bought the ticket, you were going to get your money's worth. And whether you loved him, whether you hated him, that's all you could really ask for out of these guys. Because in a world today where you got to wonder when you buy the ticket if they're going to show up, really. That was one thing about Kobe that you never had to worry about. And now I follow all of these like Kobe tribute sites on Instagram or like Twitter, and the way that he just talked about the game within the game, like even like when he was playing it, some of these clips that you go back and watch and like kind of like retroactively fall more in love with. I mean, like I love the one at the finals when the guy's like, "Why aren't you smiling? You're up 2-0." And he's like,
"Job's not finished."
I mean, like, and he never
changes his face.
He never phases. He like never phases. And then there's a podcast that runs with him that talks about like how he would get into that mindset, like stuff that I never heard in the moment, but you hear now, you know, almost a decade later, where he would be listening to horror film music.
Yeah.
Like driving to the game.
Wait, I've never heard that. Why?
Like the Freddy Krueger.
Like the Freddy Krueger, like Jason theme to like get into a mindset
Seriously?
of like,
I'm about to kill.
like killer mode.
Oh my
like
God,
not,
that's intense.
Like not caring about anybody else's feelings. Like not like that's how he would
Yeah.
explain it. Like I couldn't get caught up in worrying about you.
Wow.
I couldn't get caught up in caring about what
would
I
it be
did to
like
other
that?
people.
Have
Is
you
that
ever-
like just like I mean like
Yeah.
I have
That's
chills.
stone cold.
Have you
yeah.
ever seen the Michael Jordan video?
And they show
No,
him like
I don't
they'll
think
show
so.
clips of him like walking into the arena like with his headphones on. And you're like now like knowing that like as he's explaining it, like he's walking in, and I mean like the dude looks
Like he's about to go
like
kill
a serial
somebody.
killer.
Wow.
I mean, like he's got like hands and like a trench coat, you know, like I mean, like, and I mean, he's just like he's stone faced. I mean, he's like he's a cold blooded killer, and then the way that he played the game was my favorite Kobe. Out of everybody, was Olympic Kobe.
Oh my goodness.
The documentary, The Dream Team, or the Redeem Team. What was it called?
The Redeem Team.
The Redeem
right?
Team? What is it?
Redeem Team.
It was the
Redeem
Redeem
Team.
Team.
Yeah. That Kobe is my favorite. I mean, if you hear Dwayne Wade and LeBron James tell those stories about like when they are coming in from the club in Vegas,
Oh yeah.
and all of them are like coming up the escalator, and Kobe is coming down the elevator, walking through the lobby with a bag on it. All these guys have been in Vegas.
First time I was getting ready to face Jordan, I had a teammate. He goes to me and said, "Hey, you want some advice?"
I mean, like Carmelo is like, I ain't going to the gym right now, bro. That ain't happening. But like the effect that Kobe Bryant, like think about the star power
Oh my
that's in an
God.
Olympic basketball
I know.
locker room. Whether it's 92 with Jordan and all those guys, or whether it's even like 96 with Shaq and those guys, or even like the Redeem Team at 08 with Kobe and that crew. I mean, you got like Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant was in that locker room as a young kid.
Jeez.
Carmelo's in there, LeBron's in there. And LeBron and Kobe are kind of like, Kobe's like he's the alpha of the world, and LeBron's kind of trying to like snip at that. You
Kind
know,
of like
he's
MJ
trying to
and,
like
and
say,
Magic at
Yeah.
the time.
right. And the effect of Kobe on that type of athlete, of that magnitude of a player, and what he changed in like 3 days. They said everybody on the team was going to the gym at 5 in the morning. Like Chris Paul was like, I remember laying in bed that morning, like thinking like, I'm a bum. Like I got a long way to go.
I'm not gonna last here.
You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm laying at the Olympics, like the starting point guard on Team USA. I'm maybe the best point guard on the planet at this point, and I'm thinking to myself like, dude, I'm a bum. Like, I mean, like, how did I get here? And he said, like, within a week, like within 3 days, everybody in that team, like, and it was led by LeBron and D Wade, you know, the two that were probably the closest to Kobe's power at that time were those two, you know, that were like saying like, dude, I mean, if he's doing it, like, we got to do it.
Right.
You know, and I mean, just that type of leadership, that type of personality, that type of discipline and will. I mean, like, you watch some of those shot fakes that he would catch, sweep, shot fake, dribble. You know how many times he's done that? Like, I mean, it almost looks like art. Yeah. It really does. I mean, it kind of looks like Joe Burrow threw that football the other day, and he kind of like just like, I mean, he had done, you can tell Burrow's done that countless amounts of time. I mean, Kobe, when he would catch, it's like the Jordan fadeaway. I mean, like how he would catch, sweep, shot fake. I mean, and people are still like, like diving. I mean, like, you know, like just trying
to stay on him,
just dying. I mean, like fouling the hell out of him. I mean, it's just a muscle memory that he had done probably a million times. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And there's that great clip of him and his daughter, Gianna,
talking courtside
in the courtside one. But when they're at like his gym, and she does that move, and he's kind of, and like you can tell he's like, she's getting it, you know, like she was going to be the one, man. She was going to be the one that you were going to look at her game and be like, look at Kobe all over that.
Like all in it.
I mean, all up on that game, man.
She told him she wanted to play basketball, and he was like, okay, you're going to be me.
Exactly. How heartbreaking.
I know, man.
That hurts my heart.
But
3 years ago
Katie,
today.
This is the video I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's Jordan. I had a teammate. He goes to me and said, hey, you want some advice? Whatever you do, don't look him in the eye. Wait, excuse me? Why the hell would I not look him in the eye? I don't think my teammate understood that I'm that too.
Michael to the hook line, all the way to the hoop for the dunk.
Can't look me in the eye either, buddy.
I remember watching that. I remember watching him in that All-Star game.
I have a college assignment.
He was just so
when
great.
they threw him that lob and he caught it, and I mean, everybody was just like,
he's a superstar.
And then watching The Last Dance.
Yep.
And watching Michael Jordan go into that game.
He's like, that little liquor boy.
Yeah, he's like, he ain't seen a shot he don't like, huh? But I mean, you know, like the respect that he was getting within that locker room at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even a starter for the Lakers then.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't even a guy that was like kind of really on the radar.
Made the All-Star team though.
Yeah. Won the dunk. Didn't he win the dunk contest?
Yeah.
Yeah. That night, that trip. I mean,
they should go back to the uniforms for the All-Star
doubt.
game. Like, I don't like the All-Star uniforms.
I agree.
Let them wear their regular uniforms.
agree.
It makes it look cooler.
I think so too.
But rest in peace to Kobe and crew, man. Kobe and
Yeah.
everybody on that helicopter that day. I'm sure all of us out there will remember such a sad time for sports fans. And obviously, man, if you've been out to Los Angeles since then, and we went out there for the UCLA game with LSU opening the season last year or 2 years ago, man, the Kobe tributes in that city are awesome.
Yes.
I mean, it is incredible. You can't go too many square blocks in Los Angeles. I mean, like in like kind of the heart. I mean, we didn't go everywhere, but we were around a lot of parts of downtown and, you know, through a lot of some touristy areas of Los Angeles. And I'd imagine there's a lot in the communities that surround LA. But I mean, I would see murals and buildings on the side, parking garages. I mean, there was a legacy to Kobe that will last forever in that city, and you can tell the effect that obviously he's made on Los Angeles and beyond. But it was cool kind of to see that. I remember going back and being around LA and just being very proud to see all of the Kobe love, and I mean how much artistic power they have out there and how cool they have made a lot of those drawings and a lot of that art out there to remember Kobe, his daughter, and really everybody on that helicopter. I know it's kind of Kobe Bryant and others, but it's a sad day for a lot of people and a lot of families that day. Remember, Daily, we are brought to you by our friends over at Edward Jones, Daniel Newman, daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. Get in touch with Daniel Newman today for any financial advice you may be looking for. It is a low point right now for Danny Boy. If you want to give him a call and maybe pick up his spirits. He does not understand what the men's basketball team is going through.
Yeah, I didn't think about him.
Right now.
God, yeah,
His text messages
this has to be tough for him.
It's getting
a
dark
very,
for him.
very tough time right now for Daniel Newman. He would love to have a conversation with you about finances. He could help you get your money right.
Get his mind off of
completely
basketball.
right now. Get his mind off of LSU men's
basketball.
basketball. But he's in love with Kim and the crew now.
Yes.
The ladies are definitely getting him out of the dumps.
That
and
helps.
he is he's a supporter of basketball no matter where and when it's played, just as long as they got a basket and a ball. He's going to be there, and that's where he is kind of with this women's program and men's program. But go see Daniel Newman. He's the best. He's out in Central. Daniel.Newman@edwardjones.com. Daniel.Newman@edwardjones.com. We'll talk to Billy Embody coming up here at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm also looking forward to getting on to back to campus this morning, Stewie, going to talk to the kids.
Might have to come with you.
Going to speak to the students.
I might have to come with you
This morning.
You should.
Yeah.
Let
Look
him
at
know,
this
look.
freshly
Why not?
grad.
Look, I was
Show
a
him
student.
off?
Yeah.
People
Exactly.
can exist in the world, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. You got to wake up on time in the real world.
Yeah, you do.
Someone asked us
That
yesterday.
degree doesn't come with an alarm clock.
It does not.
It's not. We were at the ticket
They
office
don't even give you the
yesterday,
degree.
And Trey Smith asked us, how do you get a job there?
right.
I see kids there working that I knew in school. And how do you get a job up in there?
Excellent job,
Yes.
Katie, dropping the name
I
there.
told him I'd drop his
Definitely
name.
would have forgot
Trey
about
Smith.
that.
Trey
You know him?
Smith.
He works in the ticket office.
No.
Okay.
I don't do the ticket office
You
too
might be
much.
working with him soon.
They only have,
Speaking
like,
of tickets, if you
distributors.
see any of the Jordy Culotta crew around town, we've got a boatload of tickets to give away
Yes,
for
I have
you.
them in my purse. I'm waiting for someone to ask.
We've got tickets to LSU Tennessee on Monday night. We're going to do this in person. So if you see any of us around town, ask us for tickets. We're going to ask you to pull your phone out and make sure that you're subscribed to the show.
We should record this and like
I did tell Noah
They
this
should.
yesterday.
Noah, Ron, and Jack are doing
my
it.
Yes.
idea. I didn't tell anybody, but the idea that I came up with last night, I was just sitting around, and I was like, we should maybe do like a LSU trivia, so they can like kind of win the tickets
Yes.
in a sense.
Well, the
Like,
way that they get the tickets is they have to show you on their phone that they are subscribed. If they're not, they need to subscribe, and if they are, they need to forward it to a friend right in front of your eyes.
Are they subscribing to all our channels, or are we? Just,
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Mainly ours, but yeah, let's do it all.
No, we want all the subscriptions.
We need it all.
We need
it
all the subscriptions.
We need it all.
If you have not subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscription button. Geeky Gardner says, where can I find y'all? All over town,
All
Geek.
over town.
Look around, man. Phil's Oyster Bar, City Cafe, Katie's Restaurant down in New Orleans.
Episcopal.
All the hot
Catholic.
spots.
Any carpool line.
Oh God!
Opening round of the
I'll be
St.
in
Jude
Independence
basketball
Park,
tournament
cross
today.
practice
Somebody's
later.
gonna be at Katie's window there in carpool. You got tickets?
I do.
Let me see your phone.
Give me the phone first.
Exactly. Did y'all hear about the Uber Eats driver that walked onto the court during
Yes,
the Loyola
that
Chicago?
was
Yeah.
like great.
Can you find that video
Yes.
and play it? I mean, I don't know. Like, was this just like a publicity stunt, or was this a real? You think it was a publicity
I
stunt?
had to have been.
I mean, it was right into the second half. I mean, he wanders around looking like he really, honestly, does not know
No,
where
he,
to deliver.
he was trying to deliver that to somebody. Somebody didn't want to claim their food.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody
really
was probably
weird.
on the bench ordered some food, and was like, "Oh shit, he's coming! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! He got in."
Is that the Uber Eats
And then
guy?
he spooked a ref, and that was a delay of game. I mean, it was crazy. Like,
But I
what?
mean, like walking out onto the field.
I know.
I mean, he was like on
I
the
mean,
court.
like, what's our boy's name from earlier this year at LSU? Who was
Marwan.
tripping on mushrooms?
Marwan.
That was so
Marwan.
amazing.
I mean, he had the look
That
on his
stance.
face like he was just wandering.
He was foreshadowing to the Alabama game. He
Right.
was watching that play
Right,
before it
there you
happened.
go.
That's all it
That's
was.
weird.
The shrooms had him.
Dylan Caskey get a job yet? He is. I think a lot of good things are happening for Caskey right now. The phone's ringing. I don't think there's anything officially to report right now, but that's where the coach has been. He has been trying to get that stuff together for sure, and looks like he's having some success. So stick around with us. Make sure and like, share, comment if you don't mind. We'll be right back with you. Don't forget our friends over at City Cafe, citycafebr.net, located on O'Neill and George O'Neill. We'll be back with hour 2. We're going to talk to Billy Embody. We'll reminisce with Embody about the Bayou Bash, see what memories Embody may have.
Wait,
from,
can you watch this video
look at
first
this
before we
man.
go?
I mean,
He's just looking around like the play's not going on. I mean,
I mean, like,
I don't know what this food's for. Like,
It's so amazing.
he's so confused.
I mean, he's literally looking around.
and I'm not trying to stereotype here at all. But I mean, he looks like he knows what a basketball game is.
Yes,
I guess.
for sure.
You know what I mean? It's not like a
Like
guy Marwan who's like, dude, this is not calculus. You know what I mean? Like, get out of the field, bro. But I mean, like, what are you doing, man?
What are you doing?
Like, what are you doing?
My man was just out of it.
I mean, he could touch the guy. I mean, he's literally.
He coulda
right
stole the ball.
there. Yeah, he really could have.
He was in great position.
Yeah,
really
the
could
ref
have.
was like,
I
back
mean,
up,
That was wild.
and he's just like looking around, drink in hand. Just,
Yeah. I know. I love how he has the drink.
Is this for you?
Coach, is this for you? Did you order the hot and spicy small fry with a large Coke?
That was so good.
Hit the like button, share button, comment button. We'll be back with you. Hour 2 coming your way. Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at jordyculotta.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them, JohnsonSpillers.com. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live here on this Thursday morning. Shout out to one of our listeners, Dan Behan. Is it Behan?
Behind.
Says that he found the show just before the SEC championship and just kept watching. Welcome in, Danny boy.
Thank you. Even though we haven't touched on college football one time today. Thank you.
And the best college football show in America.
I know.
I would doubt that, but thank you for the compliment.
We'll take that.
All right. But welcome in, Dan. And thank you for being out there. Appreciate you coming aboard. And look, make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button. We're about to be joined here by Billy Embody. And we were talking about the Bayou Bash earlier. And it's got me reminiscing this morning. It's got me all up in my feels, remembering the day, going back to the Bayou Bash, how it started early, ended late. And I was telling Katie and Stewie and Jamil, who have really kind of like started to take interest in wondering why nobody can bring this thing back. I don't think that it can be resuscitated. I don't think that it can ever be brought back to life, especially in the form that it was at one time, because now that the signing days are split up.
You don't
But
think
we
you
could
could
do something.
I mean, you would have to do it like in December.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It would change.
That
It would
would
almost
be
like turn into a Christmas party.
There you
Hey,
go.
Coach,
there you go. That's
that's a
the move
move.
right there. Don't you threaten me with planning a Christmas party. Don't you threaten
But
me.
the deal is that it starts early.
Yeah.
You know, what I
and
mean,
like-
that's you gotta.
And like a lot of the guys are committed already. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah, and there's still been a little bit of sense of that, but definitely not to the drama. To the drama that exists back in the day. But Chico Moore, who is a great dude, first and foremost, he would be a great resource for the Bayou Bash. He was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the president of the Gridirons Club at the time. And I can always remember the Bayou Bash, seeing Chico Moore like run around like he was always doing something. I mean, he always was like on a mission to get something done, whether it was opening something for somebody, getting somebody to a space, making sure the right people were at the right place, doing the right stuff, the tickets were being handed out. I mean, it was always Chico Moore could get it done. So maybe we'll get Chico Moore on the show
Hook
and
me
let
up
him.
with Chico and let me plan it with him.
He did own the Exxon on the corner of Florida Boulevard and would that be Interline right there that runs along the side of the interstate? And there was that Exxon, that big Exxon.
Yeah.
He may still own that Exxon, and he used to keep an LSU Cadillac out front, like it was painted LSU. I mean, he is an LSU diehard.
Right, clearly.
He is a great storyteller of LSU athletics. I mean, he is a historian in the sense of he has seen, I want to say like him and Mike Serio did not miss a football game, for like 40 years, home and away.
Wow.
I mean, like,
I need to meet him.
that is a commitment.
Yeah,
man.
that is. Jeez.
Shout out to, we got Bill? Babyface Bill?
Babyface Bill.
You're babyface Jordy today.
Bill, good morning.
Guys, how are you?
Billy, do you remember the Bayou Bash?
I went to the last Bayou Splash that they had. It was down at the River Center.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that was the last time they tried it.
Do you
I think
remember
it
the
was
year?
O's first year.
Okay, so
O's first year.
O's
Oh,
first
they
year.
moved it
right?
to the River Center?
Yeah,
so
no.
it became that big?
Or it was
The atrium.
what's the atrium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can't do anything like that around recruiting anymore, right? Not just because of the legal standpoint. I'm just saying because like being split now in the days and the signing periods, and a lot of these guys are committed now. I mean, could this thing even exist present day?
Yeah, it could. I would probably have them do it around the real national signing day, the February one, just from the standpoint of then you can talk about everyone and kind of go into that and just celebrate the end of it, because February 1st next week is National Sign Day, and these coaches are gonna go celebrate. I mean, they're done. They've been more so than ever this year. This is the longest recruiting cycle that they've ever been through, from the beginning of December until National Signing Day. I was talking to another SEC coach, and he said, we've just hosted kids left and right. We've hosted transfers left and right. It has not stopped. And then you factor in a bowl game, and there was no time. I mean, the recruiting calendar has to get fixed, but that's another story. But these guys are genuinely going to be excited to celebrate their class. And granted, would they like to just go do it by themselves? Maybe, but having an actual, a Bayou Bash and celebrating this recruiting class would be something that would be welcomed. And, as more and more in-person events kind of start to get going again, and things like that. This would be a good thing to bring back in that sense. I think, getting people together to talk about recruiting classes, and especially those maybe away from the podium times that you might get with an assistant or Brian Kelly as a fan, would be pretty cool. Ask them a question that, maybe a media member doesn't, or get a response that, the public might not get. These are fun events. I would love to see them be brought back. You just got to drum it up the right way. They've done caravans here and there too. Some schools still do those. And I think those are good to get out and hit your major cities and talk about the recruiting class. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's got to be done the right way to, bring up the intrigue around it and kind of get people out and excited.
All right.
Hell
Billy's
yeah.
voting
I'm
for
on
bringing
it.
it back.
I'm
Katie's
on it.
her eyes are lighting up.
Chico and I are on it.
I love it. Omar Spites earlier this week. It's Spites or Spates?
I say Spates.
Okay.
But, maybe somebody can look that up
No,
for us.
somebody was correcting me earlier this week. I'm going with Spates.
Yeah.
They have cleaned up in the transfer portal once again, Billy. Now that you've almost got a clear collection of everybody that they are bringing in, this signing class with transfers and enrollees have kind of taken shape here. What do you make of the new faces that will land in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, this is a really good group. I think it addresses so many needs at a very high level, and there are still spots to be had for LSU to add more players. I still think they want to find an offensive lineman along the interior to bring in. They offered Ja'Kai Clark, the Miami offensive line transfer. They're still on more linebackers. That's a position that needs to be shored up. And Nick Jackson is one where he's the top available, uncommitted transfer linebacker in the country. He made multiple all ACC appearances as first teamer, I believe, and he's transferring from Virginia. LSU has some ties there. They're going to try and see if they can get a visit. Auburn's hosted him. Oklahoma's hosted him. Iowa's hosted him. Those are some of the schools that are in play for Nick Jackson. So they still have roughly 5, 6 spots or so to play with. I still think they need linebacker help. Wouldn't shock me if a good safety entered the portal and they decide to jump in on him. Those are some of the positions I think they'd love to address. But as far as who they have hit every position with at least one player. It seems like that can shore it up, between the signing class and the transfer portal. And in the transfer portal, you saw them really address the defensive line and secondary, which was so important. And getting Omar Spates is just huge from that depth perspective and production perspective at linebacker too. That gives you somebody you can kind of lean on, who has done it for multiple years. 300 plus tackles over 4 seasons. He's had some picks, had some, fumble recoveries, stacked the quarterback. He's just kind of done a little bit of everything, and he was first team all Pac-12. So when you bring up Omar Spates, that was a big win for LSU at a big position of need.
Signing him allows you to keep Perkins in place, right? Did they have plans of moving Perkins? What do you hear of how they use Perkins in year 2?
Yeah, I think with the linebacker position, you're going to want to see Harold probably move around a little bit more than he did, maybe jump into more of an off-the-ball linebacker spot at times to get him some of those reps, to get him developed at that spot, which is where I think that his natural progression should be. Eventually, you want him to be in the middle. Granted, he could kind of be used maybe as he's not this type of a physical build, but like a Micah Parsons that kind of plays all over. You want him to be able to be off the ball a little bit more, just from a scheme perspective and all the different things you can do if he's able to do that. But Omar Spates coming in allows him to stay at that spot where he's a little bit more naturally comfortable in terms of moving around and just, saying go. He kind of reminds me of Marcel Brooks in that sense, the way they used him. I think Harold's got a little bit bigger upside than Marcel did, but that was what they ended up doing with Marcel in year 1, was just say, go get the quarterback. And that's what they had to kind of do with Marcel, but Harold's got a little bit more of an upside to play off the ball linebacker and move into that role eventually full time. If they want him to, they can move him around, like I said earlier, but Omar Spates allows him a little bit more time to just kind of ease into that.
So Billy, do they have a time off, coaches, now? Look, I'm not one to make excuses or, be overly critical of coaches being overworked because of I mean, this is a high-paying, demanding job, but I mean, there has to be some relief on a schedule, right? Is it coming up for these guys?
I think it's probably right after signing day. They get a little bit of time, but in reality, you are doing some planning for spring ball. You're in a dead period for recruiting, so you don't have to be on as much. But then you're into spring ball, and you're into, after that, spring evaluation period in mid-April to late May, and then you're into camps and official visits, and then you have that 4th of July kind of dead period, and then into July. I mean, July is basically your only time where you can't host prospects. You don't have to, be around the players, and you don't have game planning to do. It's a few weeks. So this upcoming time where they would get some time off after signing day, they can't necessarily go take a vacation and do any of that unless they're, kidless or whatever. But it is a job that is just overworking these coaches, and a lot of it makes sense to me. And, I used to say, well, you want these kids on campus as much as possible. You want them around the coaches and learning about the program, but it's become such a show now with, for example, like freshmen and sophomores hitting campus, doing a photo shoot, getting in the jersey.
Right.
You're not even getting as much football in there, or, all they want to do is just take a picture in the jersey and maybe meet the coaches. But, I think something's got to be fixed in that respect, because these guys just, they don't have any time off. And a lot of it, freshman to sophomore year recruiting, when you have them on campus, I mean, it might impact a little bit, but it's not going to do anything, in terms of a final decision, I don't think. It maybe puts you in position with a couple kids to be in the mix all the way through, but these guys are just getting overworked. They're on the road all the time. If they're not game planning, if they're not in practice, they're on the road. They're hosting kids. The support staffs have helped in terms of touring kids around, but it's kind of a rotation. While they're doing that, they're meeting with another kid about how they fit into the program on these visits. It's just the NFL, I mean, has so much time off, and obviously those guys don't even deal with personnel. That so many guys now, the contracts are great, but most assistants are still for the most part on a 1-year contract. So might pay well, but you're not guaranteed much beyond 1 year as an assistant. So we're starting to see a little bit of a trend to guys leaving to the NFL. And I think the NCAA's got to figure out the recruiting calendar a little bit better, move up early signing day, have only a transfer window in terms of visits. That's December. So only transfers can visit in December, and then a little bit in January. Make January, dead, and honestly have April be your late signing period. That way colleges could even see what they have in the spring and see if they need to press for players late. But, because there's no break, there could be a break from January and February. Instead, you're seeing it just go all the way through, and, it just doesn't help these guys, long term live quality lives despite the money.
That's right. I agree. A little off of college football before I get you out of here. LSU basketball puts up 40 in a road loss the other night, another road loss for McMahon and the crew. I don't think anybody had really high expectations in year one. I also don't believe that anybody anticipated it being as bad as it's been over the last couple of games. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you expect here in basketball?
Yeah, I think looking back on the roster construction, one of the big questions was shooting, and it has not been good this year. And so I think that's been a big issue. They don't have anyone you can count on by any means. And I don't think athletically they were constructed well enough to compete in the SEC. I mean, and this is no disrespect to the guys, but, some of them coming over from, McMahon's previous stop, and it just, they don't match up. And they even went out and got some lower level guys to kind of come in from other schools. It it just hasn't worked out the way. I mean, you looked at it and you thought, okay, well, Juice Hill's been in the SEC, or they've had Cam Hayes, NC State, Trey Hannibal, came over from Murray and he was good, and KJ Williams, same story. But then they had added some guys that were kind of like, just plugs, and not necessarily in a high quality way. The recruiting class that they finished with, you'd like to think that those guys develop and figure it out, and they've got some athletes in that last class that can get it done. With Tyrell Ward and Jalen Reed maybe, but Cornelius Williams was someone that was committed to them at Murray, and hasn't. We'll see kind of how he develops, but it's just they've got to athletically get better in the future. That's the big thing that I'm seeing is they just don't have the athletes right now to really go night in, night out in the SEC, and that's the issue.
Joey B and Jamar in the AFC Championship game for the second consecutive season. Mahomes, he looks hurt physically. Vegas thinks he's hurt because of the odds that they're putting out. What do you think about championship weekend in the NFL?
Yeah, I like Joey B and Jamar to get it done. Get another. I think it would be 4 straight over Mahomes. And look, we'll see. I mean, Mahomes is somebody that you can't count out. I don't care what really people are saying and how many times the Bengals have now beat them in a row. But Burrow he's just, we know this. He's stone-blooded, a stone-cold killer out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the type of games that he gets up for. His comment after, send those refunds. I mean, that's classic Joe, in my opinion. So I like Burrow and Jamar to get it done and move on to another Super Bowl. And I think they'll face the Eagles. That's what I've got.
One more before I get you out of here, Billy. Back to college football recruiting real quick. One name here in the spring to watch out for that you're looking forward to most seeing, whether it's a transfer or early enrollee.
One name, I would probably say Denver Harris. I watched him a ton in high school. Really, really liked, what LSU had in terms of recruiting him out of high school, and just one of the best corner prospects I've seen in a while. So I'm excited to see him get out and move around and kind of start, working his way back into playing and doing all those things. I'm really excited about Denver, and then Deshaun Womack out of the high school ranks. I can't wait to see what he does.
Is Womack they anticipating him like day one type guy?
I think so. He's physically, by the time 8 months goes by, he's gonna have really toned up that body even more. But physically, he's ready to go. He's big enough to play. It's just a matter of just getting it a little bit stronger and getting him in that nutrition program. But that's why you bring in Braden Swinson. That's why you bring in Ovi Agofu to kind of sell him and allow him to kind of develop. But I think they see Deshaun Womack as a day one guy.
Zalance Hurd too?
I think Zalance has it in him. There's a lot of competition all of a sudden on that offensive line, and where he could plug in is kind of a question, but I could see him. I think he's trending towards a guy that can start day one at right tackle if the chips fall the right way.
Have a great weekend, Billy. Good to see you as always, man. Thank you.
Sounds good. You guys too. Thanks for having me.
Billy Embody from On3. Easy to find his work, whether it's on Twitter or online. Check him out there at Billy Embody. Appreciate him stopping by. Conversation brought to you by RMB Builders. We appreciate our friends over at RMB Builders, Rhett Bourgeois and his crew over at RMB. Right now, quality work, always quality work. You can find on Instagram if you want to check them out on social media. And you can find them online at rmb-builders.com. But if you're looking to custom design a home, if you're looking to refurbish a home, if you need some addition to a home, or if you need some commercial work, if you need anything done around the office, check out RMB Builders, rmb-builders.com. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show. We'll close it out when we get back here. Driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Question in that game. You're listening to the Jordy Culotta Show live on YouTube. Catch it every day, 7 to 9 a.m., wherever you have internet access.
My guy, the host of Mac and Cube.
You said you wanted me to close it out.
I listen to his pod every day on WJOX 94. I thought I was going to beat Charlie. I didn't. You were fantastic as always. Have a great call in Missouri. I'll see you soon, man.
Thanks, man. Good
Later.
talking to you, Jordy.
Always. There he is. Cole Kublik, the absolute best. Don't overthink it, ABC. When you move to a primetime slot and the SEC is getting that billing, make this man the color commentator. He's the absolute best.
Ooh, I mean, what a pro.
What a pro.
I remember telling them, hey, listen, my job here is to make sure that we bring, big time football to a small town environment, right? And so you see on movies sometimes about the way a town reacts to the football program and what it means to everybody. And that was the hopes and dreams that I had for the place. And so our kids take a distinct responsibility in wearing that Z on their helmet. It means a lot to them. And then on the flip side of that, our community does a tremendous job of supporting our program, supporting the athletic department, supporting our school as a whole. And there's really a great relationship there that's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Thank you for the access, man. Looking forward to tonight. We'll talk soon.
Coach, wait, before you go, fix your hair again one more time.
Look at him.
Let's go.
Yes.
Here.
Look at him.
What do you think about that?
Game day,
what do you
baby.
think about that?
Game day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. Great to see you. Thank you.
You too, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
All right, man. There he is. There he is. My guy. David Brewerton checking in. What does Harold Perkins do for this defense? What does he allow you guys to do?
Yeah, Perk, man, he's just so raw, man. Like, all he know how to do is make a play. But I love him. He brings a certain type of juice to the defense, and he's right alongside of me on the edge. He knows how to rush the edge. As a young guy, that's very valuable to the defense, being able to rush the edge, making the quarterback step up. But yeah, they put him everywhere, middle linebacker, outside rusher, maybe sometimes he's going to be in a drop. So he's very versatile for our defense.
Southern Eye Centers, located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the capital region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southerneyecenters.com. That is southerneyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out, southerneyecenters.com, and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors, Miles Frazier,
Kyron Lacy,
Greg Brooks.
Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team.
Make a difference.
Bet. Let's get it done.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
All right, welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome back to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. A lot of you busting our balls about our hours here lately.
It's a slow time in sports.
It's a
right
serious
now.
slow time in sports right now. And Brian Burgess, the workday does not end when we get off of the air. Lots of stuff to get to. Heading over to LSU this morning to speak to a class, Dr. Ashley Bowers and crew. Good to be back.
What class is it?
It's a business development class.
Business.
Thought it was sport admin or something.
Allen Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that Kines?
I mean, I had some Kines classes in there.
Yeah.
In the basement.
We are looking to revive the Bayou Bash. I think this is a great project. Katie's got a little gleam in her eye here. She wants to bring this back. We have got an APB out on Chico Moore, or an executive within the Gridiron Club. This feels like a Tom Granning project that can help us out with this. Our good buddy Terrell Fife, who dove into the chat a couple of minutes ago, put back that he was in college 7 years and went to the Bash every single one of them. I was timed up perfectly with Terrell on that 7-year run. Neither of us doctors, but neither of us missed a Bash, and started it and shut it down. Cheers to UT. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. We want to bring it back. I think we could bring it back. It has to be done correctly, though.
I've never even been to it, and I want to bring it back.
I know. There's videos out there that we could probably
educate myself.
Bring some back. But
this infamous photo is from Shay at the Bash.
Nice.
Is it?
Yeah, this picture.
The one where he looks like he's tripping?
Yeah. This is him.
I think this would be easy to do. That's at the Bash?
Yes.
I never knew where that photo was. I thought he was just at the bar.
That is at the Bash.
Looks like he's at a rave.
and he says he wasn't intoxicated at all.
Sure, Shay.
He's just like a deer in headlights. He's like,
sure.
All right.
Get up against the wall, son. Empty your pockets.
With the flashlight to his eyes.
I swear, sir, I'm not on anything. Sweet. Get up against the wall.
Why are your pupils so dilated?
Right.
I don't know.
You look like Jim Morrison, kid. I mean, like, you look like you just broke out of a shelter for the last 3 days, have not eaten or seen the sun. Empty your pockets right now.
He's going to hate me for this.
Amazing.
I swear, sir, I'm not on anything.
That's amazing.
You know how many
that is your recruiting expert.
You know how many times he's asked me and Lloyd to change that picture? We're like, Shay, that's the best picture you got. Like, he hates it.
Poor Shay.
I swear I'm not on anything.
Yeah,
all right.
I didn't take anything.
Okay. Get up against that wall, kid.
Why do you have a pill bottle in your pocket? I don't know.
What is that behind your ear? All right, so
everybody's got to send me their videos and photos from the Bash so I can start learning how to do this.
I mean, because the key to reviving the Bash is really recreating the Bash. I want
Right.
people showing up at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hammered.
You're starting
Not
the
yet.
process for sure.
You got to be getting ready.
You know
for
what I mean?
that.
Fumble. I want them firing up the jambalaya pits early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want
Yeah.
the good smells at the crack of sun.
That's the best.
I mean,
Where are
like,
we gonna have it? We got to find a venue.
Look. First place we need to approach is the Argus. They want to bring this back. The Atrium one. This was a huge day for them. I mean, this was an enormous
Make it a
day.
boatload.
Make a lap around the Atrium right now and do it for the next 6 months.
That's the Bell, right?
Yes,
It's in the
it's
Bell
got the
Casino.
glass.
It's still there.
The
just
glass
the same?
ceiling. I would assume.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully it's not like a lot of everything else in Baton Rouge and just falling the hell apart.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
No, they usually keep downtown up. They're usually doing
Yeah,
a
they
little.
do.
Yeah.
They do. You're right.
Try to keep downtown nice.
Yeah.
And then they just say, "Fuck the rest of the city."
Exactly.
But I mean, there's definitely some venues
LaBerge,
out there
Brian
that would be
Burgess
in
said.
that would be interested. I think in like if we have a clear plan, if we've got some partners. I mean, the key to the Bash was that like they would show up with like vendors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not only are we bringing us,
Yeah.
we're bringing other like places of business
It
here.
needs to be like that.
Yeah, no, it's a showcase. It's a showcase. It's a day event.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any recruiting drama?
I guess
That's the part that like that's what you're inviting in.
Well, that's what Billy was saying. You just celebrate the recruits. You're just celebrating everything that's happened, up until the day.
Yeah,
so it's just a big celebration.
Because once they sign the paper, the coaches can talk about them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I mean, like you have to bring a coaching element into it.
We can still make it fun. It can still be dramatic.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take a lot in South Louisiana to excuse for a party.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you can blend that with LSU football, there's a lot of people that are going to show up.
Yeah, you had me at party.
Yeah, right.
But you really got me at LSU football.
And by the way, if you pay this amount, you get in, you drink for free. I mean, like you can.
Yes.
You can kind of like
You'll have
pull
people
the
kicking down
strings.
your door to get a wristband.
They signed Ricky Collins. Who cares? I knew about that back in December.
Yeah.
Brian Burgess said you have to have a fax machine somewhere. Definitely.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, they still live off of fax in that world.
Yeah.
I think.
That's so
Which
weird.
is
I
strange.
Why do they?
I would think you could like send the email
Or
and
just
sign it
like,
electronically,
I mean,
right?
Screenshot it.
Right.
Anything. I mean, who faxes? One of our interns, I filled in his paperwork the other day, and he was like, "Can you fax this back?" And I was
Fax
like,
it?
"No,
Yeah,
I can't."
LSU makes you fax stuff. Like,
Fax no.
No, I mean, I did it, and then I emailed it back, and I was like, "Tell them no, I'm not.
Like they,
fax.
yes,
I
they'll
can't fax anything."
They
Who
made me
does
fax
that?
my like degree audit in. Like
How do
whenever I
you
had to
do
sign, I mean, I made my mom do it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I sent it to her. Like I sent her screenshots.
Yeah.
Made her print it out and she faxed it. 'Cause I
Real world,
wasn't doing
Stewie.
it.
That's weird.
Real world.
I look.
Real world.
They had me in the first half.
Diploma doesn't come with a fax machine, son.
It doesn't come with the diploma cover either.
That sucks.
I know.
Man, they're really saving money there, huh? You need.
I mean, not
diploma
really, because
cover.
I feel like the cover costs more than the actual sheet
That's
of
what
paper
I mean.
that they give
They're not
you.
giving you the cover anymore.
No, they give you the cover,
Oh.
but they don't give you the diploma. In it. It's just the cover. Like, I just have in my apartment right now. I just have the cover.
Well, they'll send you the diploma later.
Yeah, they
right?
send you the
Okay.
diploma, but like, you don't have your diploma in your diploma cover when you get it
You
at
just walk
graduation.
around with the cover.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Mhm.
I paid all this money to go to this school.
Yeah, right.
Been here,
Yeah.
been here 7 years. I could have got my doctorate.
I mean, I know me and Terrell Fife weren't leaving campus without the sheepskin. You're not getting me on another fee bill. Give me the diploma. I'm not coming back here.
I know there's an e-fax, but still, why do it at all? Like, why is anyone even e-faxing? Why are you not just scanning?
Yeah, that's the day and age college football coaches live in. They want to feel like they're in 1998
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, a bunch of them still are.
Yeah.
Where's your fax machine?
You got a fax machine around here?
Where's your secretary to send this fax out?
What's that fax number?
Diane. We don't have a Diane here.
Barbara. Where's Barbara at? She's been here for 30 years.
This is the way we've done it since 1992. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to get LSU. Do you want to keep the show rolling?
No.
No, okay.
Jesus,
all right.
I remember when we signed Bo Jackson in 1980.
Hit that like button, share button, comment button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you see us around town, ask us for LSU women's basketball tickets. We're asking to see your phone. We want to know if you're subscribed. If you're not, we want you to share it to your text group.
Look at your internet history first.
And then
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna,
are gonna look at your
and then we're gonna dive into your apps. And then we're getting your average time spent per app.
You better delete your text. We're coming.
We're coming for you. Ask us for tickets. Hit the like button, share button, comment button. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.